Welcome back. So I'm here with you to talk about internships. So if you're looking for a way to kickstart your IT career, so consider an internship. So in this session today, we're going to talk about the benefits of internship for both businesses as well as professionals, future professionals in this field. So in this session today, joining me, Paula Richardson. Paula, she is academic portfolio manager from Universal College of Learning, UColl, and she's based on Palmerston North. So hello, Kiara, welcome, Paula.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So we want to talk about everything internship. So I would like to hear a little bit about your background, Paula, and then after that we'll start some questions around the benefits of internship for both businesses as well as individuals. So can you please introduce yourself?
Yes, so I've been in the IT field for 35 years. So starting as a computer programmer back in the 1980s, and I've worked through project and program management spent about 20 years doing those, and recently decided to make a big career change, still staying in IT, but moving into the tertiary sector. So I moved to work here at UColl, Tipperary, as an industry facilitator. I did that for a couple of years, and now I'm managing the team that I was doing the facilitation for. So the industry facilitator role is the role that's responsible to help place the students that are in their third year of their Bachelor of ICT degree into internships in the local IT community. And I sort of fell into that because I had been really interested in seeing internships from the other side in my previous jobs, taking on internships into the technology departments, and seeing how the interns had come in from the various tertiary facilities, and how they developed, and just that progression that they had from sort of a nervous young person coming in to someone that got a permanent role at the and was becoming a really valued member of staff. So to me, that whole internship process just seemed a really critical part, I guess, of their study life, and bridge that gap between their academic learning and then being able to work in a technology office.
So I can't really agree more, because some of the programs and some of the courses, even we offer at UT with my hat on as a lecturer, they really need to be aligned based on the problems and the real problems within the industry. And that is not possible if we're not having that communication channel and collaboration, open between these two organizations. But the question is, businesses out there, they're always looking for intern, but they not necessarily know what type of a skill set an intern they need, and they don't even know how to reach out to different organizations for these internship programs. So can you tell us a little bit about the type of internship that, you working with industry, how they reach out to you, and how do you facilitate this relationship?
Yes, absolutely. So I think the first thing to address the type of intern, most of the feedback that we get from the numerous companies that we work with is that it's around the soft skills that's really important. Mm-hmm. So being able to go into a workplace, being able to work with people, being able to communicate, being able to think critically, those sorts of skills are really important. And one of a quote I've got from one of the companies is that we can teach the technology, but we can't teach the soft skills. So that's something that it's really important for the student to try and develop ahead of moving into those internships. So I think we place students all from an ICT degree, but in lots of different specializations. So obviously it's going to depend on the need of the business. So we place people into sort of support roles, into software, web development, gaming development, network, hardware, business analysis, project management, the whole gamut really of IT. And so really it's you can take an intern into any particular area that you want to bring someone onto. It's not limited to sort of certain types of roles. In terms of how they find the interns, in our area, in the Manawatu, we have a really close relationship with local IT industry. We work very closely with our non-profit organisation Manawa Tech, and have built up a lot of networks. So we make are visible, I guess, to the local industry, and that they are aware we offer this internship program, and they can come in and ask us if they want to take someone on. We also, reach out to various companies and say, look, we've got someone in your space that we think they're really good. Would you like to interview them and see if they're, someone that would be suitable to bring on?
Thank you for sharing that. And really great point about that softer skill, which I usually refer to it as a power skill, because it's a good reminder for us to provide our students with opportunities that they can put those skills into practice. If it is through the teamwork, a project, or even assessment, we try to get them that knowledge that they really required for the workforce, and those are all those power skills. But is there any other things that the students they need to know to prepare for internship, aside from that that soft or power skills and technical skills? Anything specifically that they need to know? And my other question is around businesses. Do they have any preference working with the students on an early year of their studies, or they prefer to work with more mature, or those are close to graduation? Because again, it makes a huge difference. So I would really like to hear what is the appetite out there.
Yeah, so in terms of the students and the sorts of things they should be looking to prepare, other than what we've talked about, and communications is probably the most key of all of those power skills, is being able to talk to people, because they can't sit in the office silently and then still learn something. Really, I think it's thinking about what they want to get out of it. So one of the things we talk through with our students is, what are the goals? Make sure you've got clear goals of what you want to learn through this process. So, if it's you want to learn how to communicate better, or you want to learn how to network, or do you want to learn, a specific technology that you haven't used in your studies, or a specific way of doing something. Say, for example, want to learn how to work in an agile environment. So be really clear about the sorts of things that you want to do, and be really open with the company that you've been placed in terms of those goals as well, because unless you tell them, they won't know. And most places, I think, would be more than happy to try and work through various options for you to try, to learn those skills that you're interested in. So I think having a clear idea of what you want to come out with is the most important thing for the students.
That's great. So my question is around how we measure the successful, internship program. Is that, securing a job or being offered a job, is that the sign of a successful internship? Do they really necessarily have to go there with that mindset? Is there any way that we can actually measure the success?
Yes, so actually I'll just return to your previous question, because you asked as well about
the year of a student, what year?
So currently we offer our internship as the final, what we used to be called the capstone project of the degree. So at that point, the students have gone through all of their learning. They've done a number of courses designed to, help getting them ready, I guess, to go into industry. So it's really useful at that stage. However, we have been having conversations in the tertiary industry around something that we could be starting at year one of the degree, or even within the diploma and certificate level courses as well. So the earlier we get them, the students used to the idea of working in industry and learning those skills, that might make them even more successful at the end. So I think it's definitely an area that bears a lot more discussion, and what we can do to try and facilitate that if we can.
That's really great. So thank you for that. But let's talk about businesses. What is there for businesses? So it's a win-win situation. We know students, they get exposure to opportunities, but what are the benefits that businesses they getting from offering that? Except that probably they're going to access to the top talents. But is there anything else for them?
Yeah, so it comes back to, I guess, what is, how do we deem the internship as a success? So how do we measure the success of our internship programs? And we need it to be a success for both the businesses and the interns, and obviously, of course, the tertiary provider, that we're running the internship program. So in terms of for businesses, I think the benefits that can think of here, obviously they're getting someone in that they're able to call try before you buy. So if they've got junior roles, if they're thinking of hiring people, then obviously bringing on an intern, seeing how they relate to the rest of the company, and how they learn, how they grow in that internship program, is obviously a really good way of trialing, I guess, with junior roles where you don't have a lot of experience that you can show on your CV. The business can't go off and ask for references and say, how did they perform at a different place? So, giving them that opportunity to show how they can perform in an internship. Obviously, the business can then take on the ones that they feel have done really well. I think another really good benefit for the businesses is bringing on that diversity of thought. So, a lot of IT companies struggle, I guess, in terms of diversity, gender diversity, racial diversity, and bringing in the younger students, and that, ones that have come from more diverse backgrounds, or even bringing in that Gen Z sort of frame of mind, can really help with that diversity within the workplace. I've got an example of a network team in a company that I was working in, who was struggling to attract female team members into the team. So what we did was we placed 2 female interns with them, who, once they experienced that team, they loved it and became permanent members of the team. But trying to attract the females in just wasn't working. So, using that internship was a way to improve that diversity. And I think the other benefit is that, you've got the ability, I guess, to feel that, you're helping the community, you're seen to be helping the community. So the PR benefits to businesses, being able to sort of link into a lot of these programs that run throughout the country, and sort of getting the benefits from that as well.
I think all of them are really valid points. So one thing came to my mind. I remember I often get emails or requests to refer some talented students, specifically in the area of artificial intelligence, but sometimes they're very specific on the skill sets that they need. And my usually response is, we don't have anyone just ready in that. So if they want to have that talent, they have to invest, and they have to actually have them as part of the company, train them. Then they would get that niche skill set within their work. So there is no specific, training or courses or papers at any university that they are looking at that specific. And that's an investment from businesses if they want to get expert in that specific field. And I think that's one of the things. The other one you mentioned, I thought it's really important. Again, getting to know the culture of the company. And that is something that you can only find out if you had an opportunity to be part of it for a while. And what a best opportunity than, having internship with this company for them to understand the need for diversity, for the students that they seeing that what they can bring, what value they will add to that company. So they're really interesting. We have a few more minutes. So I want to ask about if you have any success story, any examples of, good internship that you can share with us, or if you know about some of the common mistakes that businesses they've done in terms of, hiring an intern. So good or bad, if you can share with us.
Yeah. Briefly, I'll touch on good because I guess, and again, it comes back to how we measure success, but a measure of success for us is that our students, obviously, as they finish their degree, we're wanting to help them into careers. That's why they're doing their degree, is to go into an IT career. So a measure of success for us is can that internship help with that? And what we have found is actually a large number of our interns are getting hired off straight from the internship. So we look at one software company that we place interns here in the Manawatu, and over the last 2 years they've actually taken on 3 interns and have hired all 3. So it's just a really incredible sort of support for the program, but it also just shows that the interns that have gone in, the quality that the business are getting, really motivated new employees. So so we've had a lot of students who have managed to get their employment straight off of their internship. Those who haven't, for whatever reason, they've made networks. Quite often the one company, even if they can't take them on, they'll go and talk to someone else and say, hey, I've had this really great intern. I know you're looking for a junior role. Why don't you have a chat with this person? Because I think they'd be really good. We're lucky we've got a small, sort of relatively tight-knit IT community here. So just performing really well in an internship, I think, just opens up so many doors for the students.
That's very true.
Yeah, and I think from the bad, the converse is true. So, where we've had interns that haven't performed well, they haven't turned up on time or they've missed days, that sort of thing. Obviously, we've had the feedback a couple of times. The internships have been stopped, and obviously, that student just hasn't got the benefits that they could have got from doing that. So, we do ask that the students really take it seriously. This is the first step of your career. It's not just about getting some, passing some papers on your degree.
No, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think this, as you said, that's a very first step for the career. And that's a journey for them, turning from student to professional. And I think this is really important that when we hearing from some of these companies, they kind of really expecting to see them at the same level of, any other professionals in the field, but they have to give them some space, opportunity, and they will grow. And this is very natural to see that. But again, not even securing a job, getting hired at the end, that's not a real measurement for success. Having the variety of internship as part of the CV, I think that's a big win for any candidate too. Yeah. So thank you so much, Paula, for joining me today. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with this program, and congratulations to you and everyone behind this internship program with 100% success rate from your example that you made. So Thank you for that, and hopefully our viewers, they now have a better understanding of what a skill set they need to be prepared for an internship board, and our businesses, they'll see the opportunities to get involved and have our younger Yangitahi on board for their jobs. So thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Kaikita.